I wish I could just shout or do any huge celebration to introduce this podcast, but I just want to remain calm. Just be a chill guy, like Amadou say. I'm a chilled guy, you know. We are chilled guy.
Be a chill guy.
Yeah, I'm a chilled guy. Charlie, we went to the Emirates. Not many people believed, but I think between myself, Kwame, and Danny, it was only Danny that felt that we couldn't go and do it over them. But we felt strongly that we could go to the Emirates.
As for me, I believed
Yes. Kwame believed So this is United and Everything Football. Thank you for being a part of the podcast with us. United are through to the next round of the Emirates FA Cup. We went to the Emirates and beat the team at the Emirates to qualify for the next stage of the Emirates FA Cup. These are two clubs with the biggest amount of trophies in the competition. Arsenal on 14, United on 13. It's always been fierce anytime we've gone to play against them. For those who don't know or who don't remember, this is the second time Ruben Amorim has gone to the Emirates to eliminate Arsenal on penalties. He took Sporting Lisbon there in the UEFA Europa League and then beat them on penalties. But Kwame, what a performance we saw today. Let me start. For the first time in the whole of this season, I saw a team playing football and fighting for each other. What a game we witnessed today. Give me your 2 cents thoughts. Let me go for a quick break and then we'll continue.
Character, balls, guts. That's what we saw. You know what? Let's take a break and come back and dissect everything.
So you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done that yet. Because on this podcast, we give you absolutely nothing but the best of analysis, of breakdowns, of trying to understand the situations that happen around the game for you. So remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, like, comment on this and share with your friends. We need more United fans to join this community. We are building a very great community. So please come and join us, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and do all of that for us. Let's make a quick turnaround. When I come back, I'll get into Kwame's mind as to what went on into the game, and I'll share my thoughts as well here on United and Everything Football. We'll be right back after this. All right, thank you very much. Welcome back to United and Everything Football. We've been drawn against Leicester City. For the next round. What an awkward draw. So this is it. Ruben Amorim, as interim manager in a first game, beat Leicester City. In a league game, he beat Leicester City again. And guess what? We have been drawn against Leicester City in the FA Cup. Kwame, share your thoughts with me. What do you think? Generally about the game. Let's talk about the game before we get to the round or whatever other place that we have to talk about.
Where do we even start from? You know, let me all the way back to when this draw was made, yeah? And then we saw the sequence of fixtures. Yeah. And at the time, what Manchester United was going through, it wasn't a good time. It wasn't a good time at all. And you just looked into 2025, and we're going to start at Anfield, right? Mm-hmm. And followed by Etihad. Mm-hmm. It's been 2 games, right? We've not won any of the games in 90 minutes, but 2 games against the top 2 sides in the country. Mm-hmm. You could say probably the 2 of the best teams in Europe. And we've gone there, we've drawn 1, and we've actually won 1 on penalties. Yeah. We showed immense character in these 2 fixtures. Yeah. But then go back to the starting 11. That's where we always start from, the starting 11. He started a team that now we believe is our strongest 11. But Amad Diallo, who succumbed to an injury in the previous game, he wasn't fit to start. Yeah, he stuck to his word in a press conference that he's going to start his strongest 11. I said it on the pod that he has to start his strongest team.
Exactly.
He has to, because it's been 1 week without doing anything, right? Yeah. We didn't have a League Cup game. Why don't you take advantage of the fact that you play your strongest team so that it gets to sort of cements the ideas that you are trying to imbibe into.
That's true.
So he went with his strongest 11, and it paid off because Arsenal, like I also predicted, did not start with their strongest team. They had Rice on the bench, they had Thomas Partey, and I did say that they have a couple of injuries that is going to affect them.
Yeah.
Arsenal without Saka, it's not Arsenal. Like, let's just call a spade a spade.
He's a dangerous guy. He's a dangerous guy.
He's the main man there. Whatever impact Mohamed Salah has for Liverpool, he has that for Arsenal as well. I'm not saying they're the same, but impact-wise, how they impact their teams is literally the same. If you take Salah out of Liverpool right now, they're not winning a lot of games.
That's true.
So when you look at the way Arsenal have tapered off, because they have tapered off, it coincides with the fact that Saka is not available. And if Saka is not available, they have these injuries and they are not going to start their strongest level. What stops us from building on what we built on at Anfield? So nothing surprised me as how we started the game. I think in the first half, we were a bit tentative, especially going forward, right? But I think we just had a single pop-out goal from a many long-range efforts. Besides that, we didn't really threaten much. But defensively, we were solid. And I'll point out one particular thing in defense, how we defended crosses and set pieces. Harry Maguire was outstanding in that first half. He was like a magnet to the ball. Every single cross that went into the box landed on Harry Maguire's head. He's found value. He's found a place in Amorim's system, and it's a delight to watch. He has all the experience now. He's been through everything. Not just, I'm talking about football-wise. Off the pitch-wise, he's been through everything. With us, Manchester United fans. He's seen the good and the very bad of Manchester United fans. I don't think anything will face Harry Maguire going forward. He really has nothing to lose. I think he's going to see out a very good year and see out the last year of his contract and then walk into the sunsets with his head held up high, hopefully with more trophies to show. But he was fantastic. How we defended corners today. But outside Bayern there, flapping at a couple of crosses, I think man for man, our aggression and our attentiveness to details in the box was essential to how we defended set pieces. By the second half, I wasn't scared of conceding corners anymore. I was like, we're just going to deal with it. We're just going to deal with it. And we just kept on dealing with it. I had a go at the assistant coach, Fernandez, for how he has been setting us up, especially earlier on. If I bashed him then, he must as well get credit now. I think he's fixed his errors. It's taking some games for him to realize that, you know what, this is the Premier League. You have to pay more attention to that particular detail. And we're fantastic. We defended brilliantly. We considered an offside goal. Arsenal had a few half chances like that, but then nothing clear cut. I think they didn't even have a shot on target in the first half. They didn't. It
didn't pop in.
Roll on to the second half, and we started to make better inroads in the final third. Let me talk about the final third issue. There is this sense of immaturity going forward, especially, we play a system where it's Bruno Fernandes the most mature, the best of the front three, but the other two is almost always the problem. Ahmad is the best of the bunch, but even he shows some inconsistencies. He didn't play today, so the onus fell on Garnacho and Højlund to do better than what they were doing. Up until we scored a goal, I'll get into the goal, but up until we scored a goal, I don't think those two players were playing well.
That's true.
Højlund wasn't holding up the ball as well as he should. Garnacho was losing out on one-on-one duels against some Skelly guy. I don't know what his name is. Arsenal's
Skelly
kid, another kid.
Skelly,
Skelly. I thought he would have he would play better against such a fullback, but unfortunately, he wasn't really having the best of him up until Arsenal made a mistake that very often in the past. See, the goal. I'm getting to the goal. It's reminiscent of Manchester United's goals at the Emirates over the past years when we were on top of Arsenal. Right? This is how we used to beat them, where we are tight, we are compact, we defend very, very well, and then we catch them on the break because more often than not, Arsenal threw a lot of men forward. I'll get into Arteta and Arsenal in a bit. I'll really, really stick the boot in Arteta and Arsenal. But it was very reminiscent of it. What we weren't seeing is how clinical we should be in those circumstances. Bruno gets the ball and then he's not in sync with the other two. Garnacho gets the ball in such an instance and doesn't do much with it. Højlund gets the ball and makes the wrong decision. Sometimes instead of going forward, he tries to retain possession and takes the ball back and then kills the whole momentum. We have to start building all over again. But in that particular instance, once the ball was won in midfield, and the ball went to Garnacho. He just went direct. He just ran into the Arsenal box and made the decisive pass. That is what we don't see very often because of the immaturity of these players. They are young, you get it. But then how long can United be waiting for you to mature? It's almost like as if we are left with no choice now because that's all we have. He made the right decision at the right time. Perfect pass, perfect weight of the pass, laid it across at the edge of the box, and Bruno Fernandes absolutely lashed it and put us up front. This stats that Bruno Fernandes has never won at the Emirates. So this is his first. When he hit the ball, you could tell like it came with a lot of fury, like he means it. He wants to win this. He's been playing absolutely well over the past couple of games, so you have to give him the props, leading his charges. But soon after that, we got a man sent off. I'll get into the officiating now. I think we're very hard done by from the blast of the whistle. I don't know what's happening with Premier League referees, but they are not covering themselves in glory. I do make a reprieve for them because very often I don't want to also blame officiating for our woes by saying that when you are good, very often you get good decisions. When you are as poor as we have been over the past few years, very often you get decisions against you. But today was horrible. The referee was just out to get us. The number of yellow cards he gave us in the first half was just a matter of time before he sent one of us off. So I felt we should have been more wary of the situation. Just remember Bruno Fernandes' red card at Wolves. We both called it like, we're going to get a man sent off. But we least expected it to be our captain, our leader. But guess what? His Portuguese counterparts completely lost the plot. Miscontrolled the football and just dived in. I'd say this Bruno and Dalot thing, they shouldn't talk too much. Show it on the football pitch all the time. Let's talk more action. You had a brilliant game against the Liverpool, right? Where many people called you the man of the match. And in the very next game, you get yourself sent off, leaving your compatriots to fight out the rest of the 60 minutes of action with 10 men. That's not cool. I think it should go beyond financing such players. I feel if we had the squad in depth, right, we had probably people who could take his position. You bench such a player for a couple of games so that it gets his head screwed on. But he shouldn't be making that tackle.
With the benefits of experience, you should read them.
He's been here for 8 years, hasn't he?
Exactly. Yes.
8 solid years. He's one of the most experienced players at the football club right now. He should not be doing what he is doing. He literally gave the referee what he wanted because that referee was out to get us. Shameful, disgraceful, terrible officiating today. At a point in time, when he did give the penalty, I was saying on Twitter, we should probably just walk off because if we are playing against 12, we have no chance. We are playing against 13. Mind you, the away fans, 8,000 fans for Manchester United were amazing. Absolutely fantastic. Amazing. They made that a classic cup tie. They were vociferous, they were vocal, they were loud.
They never gave up.
I think our away fans are better than the fans at Old Trafford, in my opinion. I think probably Old Trafford has too many tourists in the stands. But the away fans, you could tell, these are the hardcore fans. They really want to be there. They're cheering the team on in good times or bad times, supporting Zexi in good times or bad times. The direct opposite of what happens at Old Trafford. This referee gives Arsenal quickly equalize against us. That's the problem with Manchester United, Not a penalty, the equalizer.
Yes.
Quickly.
In succession. Yes.
In succession. It's been going on for too long, over 2 seasons. It started with Eric Ten Hag, where something bad happens in the game. We are not calm, we are not collected, and next thing you know, we concede. 1-1 deflected off. I think Alta Bayinda could have done better. Rather than punch the ball up in the air, he panicked. He could have easily caught the ball, right? And to relieve some pressure off the team. But he punched the ball into the air. Gabriel gets a rebound, a couple of deflections, and it's 1-1. Soon after that, this referee literally wants to give Arsenal the game. An unwarranted penalty. I mean, the speed with which he called it is almost like as if
it was like he was just waiting. He was just waiting for something slight to happen. You saw the speed with which he pointed to the box.
So quickly, a referee Hansen moment. I'm sorry, I have to use this reference. he was desperate to call a penalty.
It's a Ghanaian story.
We can't say more.
Talk about it.
Desperate, absolutely desperate to call a pen, and it wasn't even close to being a pen. I hate VAR. I know you don't like VAR.
Yeah.
None of us are big fans of VAR. But in that moment, you see the essence of VAR. Because this call should never be. It should never have happened. But sometimes football has a way, right? Justice always prevails. I saw this tweet from Manchester United, right at the end of the game. Justice.
Yes.
It summed up the game because that ball was never a pen. And Kai Havertz had a mare, an absolute nightmare. If anybody was going to mess, I don't know, it wasn't Kai Havertz, it was rather their captain, Odegaard, who took the penalty. But after that, Kai Havertz was doing his own thing to make sure that Arsenal don't win. But right after the penalty save, I just felt like, you know what, it's going to be our day. Because these things don't just happen. You know how the magic of the FA Cup is. These things just don't happen. That penalty save felt like a catalyst for us to be able to galvanize ourselves, reorganize ourselves, a new sense of energy, determination to see out the game. But it wasn't just a back to the wall job from then on. We defended a lot. We got a rub of the green sometimes. I think Rice should have scored from a header. But you can't say Manchester United was not trying to win the game too. Because on the other end, we still had a couple of very good half chances to be able to win the football game. Zexi came on, and I think Zexi did well at holding the ball than Højlund did, especially with us being a man down. You see, the thing about Zexi and Højlund is, if I come and sit here and we praise Zexi today for a cameo performance, you start in the next game and it's probably not going to be good. You do the opposite for Højlund. Højlund comes on and then does something, and then he starts in the next game and it's probably not good. You just have a couple of average strikers who are sharing the roles between themselves, trying to do their absolute best. But I think we need more. I'm not going to sit here because we won and say we don't need better. We do. But Zexi played well today, relatively well today. For the role that he was supposed to play, I think he played it well. Game somehow goes into extra time, right? We exhaust ourselves, but keenly, we did not bring a couple of players we could have brought on, despite the fact that we needed those players to come on. He brought Collier instead of bringing on Casemiro and Eriksen. That's telling. Like we said, I think he knows his team now. He knows the team he's going forward with, he's building forward with. If you're not in the picture or very much on the fringes, you're not really part of the plan. You're not. You are not part of the plan. I think Casemiro and Eriksen have run their race, but for money or their contract situations, they will probably be looking for different clubs. But I know if we don't force them out, they're going to see out a year, probably. At the very least, they will probably see out a year. They should find some purpose in certain games. I don't know which games they would be filtered in, but they should find some purpose along the way. But it wouldn't be a centerpiece. Collier did well when he came on. I think he did well. Yeah. We need legs. He got about the pitch very, very well when he did replace Meno. Game goes into extra time, like I was saying, and right at the very start, Zexi gets a very good chance to win it. See, how do I even say this? The shot should be better than what it was. It's more like it's like a tapping. What made it
a striker? Whether if you are an attacker, I won't even use the striker. If you are an attacker, you are striking that ball better. You are striking that ball better. And that was the second time he had an opportunity like that he struck the ball as if
a big man like him should be putting more power.
Bones in his legs. I mean, Zexi should be doing better on that score.
Yeah, but I think the deflection is what made it awkward for Raya. Raya pulled off an incredible save. Our goalkeeper was pulling off a 2/10 performance as well as a 9/10 performance in the same game. Unbelievable. I think he flapped at every cross. I think he did not. His goal kicks were atrocious, terrible.
But his kicks are poor, very poor, to be very honest. Very, very poor.
But he made some incredible saves in the football game today, especially from Declan Rice. 2 chances in regular time from Declan Rice. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Zexi misses this chance in extra time. Arsenal have a chance also from Kai Havertz ball across the face of goal. That's Matthias de Ligt miraculously clears off the line. I don't know how he pulled off that clearance.
From nowhere. Before I could see, I thought the ball was going into the nets. Before I could see, the ball was flying all over.
And did you see his celebration in the goal net? I've seen him do that for Bayern Munich when he cleared the ball off the line one time. You could see there's a lot of passion, desire,
that's a win.
Determination.
That's a win for him.
That's a win. It's as good as a goal. And from all these little, you see, when you look at all these little things happening, This is what galvanizes a team. It makes you know that, you know what, you are supposed to do things for each other, stick together in the hardest of times, in trying moments. What I was glad about by the end of 120 minutes was it was teamwork, it was character, it was determination. I didn't really care about the outcome of the penalty shootout. It's rewarding that you win it at the end of the day. But at that point, I said to myself, this is what would shape the rest of our season. This particular result added to the Liverpool result. So today was about building on the previous results rather than what we did against Spurs, where we beat Man City, and then we send out a team B, and then we lose 4 games in a row. I was absolutely incessant that we play a strong team today so that we can build something, because we need to build some momentum from somewhere. Under Amorim, we've not found any momentum up until this very point. So it's about time we go into the relegation 6-pointer in the next game against Southampton and make sure that we win and move further away from relegation. Just a quick one on the penalty shootout. I'll just name 2 particular spot kicks that were unbelievable. Outer Bayanda first, right? Incredible save from the penalty. See, it wasn't a bad penalty from Kai Havertz, right?
It was an extreme. The extreme end.
That is an extraordinary save.
Absolutely.
Extraordinary. He had to go full length to save that ball. It wasn't a bad penalty. It was a fantastic save. Let's get that out of the way. But Lisandro Martinez, he was limping at the end of the game, right? He was injured. He was actually playing centre forward. We actually finished that game with 9 men because Lisandro wasn't fit. Zexi was playing in his position at left centre back, and he was playing a crazy game. And he was playing as a centre forward come the end. All these things, these little things were like, we're gonna win. Like you just could feel it in your bones. You're gonna win because this is mad stuff. It's mental. Very similar to the game we played against Liverpool in the quarterfinal last season at Old Trafford. When Ahmad scored a winner. We ended up with Maguire up front, Anthony at the left wing back. That crazy formation. It felt like it's at the end of this one. Lisandro Martinez penalty kick. You see, Kwame, you've watched a lot of football. I know you remember this one. Do you remember what Carlos Panenka against England at the Euros? You remember?
2012.
The moment Joe Hart went the wrong way and that Panenka went, you just knew Italy had won. Like, mentally, it breaks you. That's how I felt Lisandro Martinez penalty did to Arsenal. The way he just sold Raya to the right-hand side, that hop skip, Bruno Fernandes usually does that. The skip just before, and then he waited, and Raya was literally just running off his line to the other side, and he places the ball on the other side. I just myself, that just killed Arsenal. That just finished Arsenal. And guess who had to step up to score the winning goal? Much maligned, much berated, to an extent that some may say hated. Joshua Sexy steps up and plants the ball and waves goodbye to Arsenal out of the Emirates FA Cup. I'll just do a quick one on Arsenal and Arteta, and then we'll probably move on to other things. You know my hatred for Arsenal and Arteta, right?
Of course.
No, I don't even hate Arteta. I hate Arsenal.
But
I've said it and I'll continue to say it. Arsenal are Arsenal. They will never, ever change. What Mikel Arteta has succeeded in doing is just returning Arsenal to what they are. A consistent Champions League qualifying team. Beyond that, they are nothing better. They have never been anything better. 3 league titles in over 21 years doesn't make you a perennial Premier League winner. City have won more Premier League titles than them. Chelsea have won more Premier League titles than them. Leicester City are just a couple of Premier League titles away from them. Liverpool win another Premier League title today. They're just one Premier League title away from Arsenal. So Arsenal were never an extraordinary side. Ever. Growing up. They were just there to offer some sort of challenge to Manchester United, just as Liverpool think they've challenged Manchester City. Beyond that, nothing more. Never won a Champions League. They're never going to win a Champions League. This season, they're not winning a Champions League. They're out of their go-to trophy, which is the FA Cup, of which we'll probably win it this year and equal their tally so that they'll have nothing else to brag about. They're out of the League Cup because they're not going to Tyneside to beat Newcastle 3-0. They are out. I'm telling you, Kwame, they are out. And they're not going to win the Premier League title. Mikel Arteta has spent over £700 million at Arsenal. In 5 years, he's won just one major trophy. Even Eric Ten Hag won more trophies than him.
Yeah.
And I bet you that Amorim will probably win more trophies than him. I don't care what Arsenal people try to sell to us. I don't care what me and our group tries to sell to us about Mikel Arteta. But he is not him.
Yeah.
He is not it. And Arsenal Football Club itself is not it. They are just what they are, and they should just fucking accept it.
Kwame there. Thank you very much, Kwame. All right, that was a very good one. I mean, you touched base on all the relevant areas. I'll speak to one thing, Ruben Amorim. That was amazing. That was some good coaching. He's creating something. I am an organizational development person. For those who don't know, there is something about creating synergy and creating connection amongst people when you walk into an organization. Trust me, he's a master at that. I'll give you an example. When we went to play Arsenal in December and we were losing or we were conceding goals from set pieces, do you know what he said? People tried to point Carlos Fernandes, his assistant, as the guy who was responsible for the reason why we were conceding set pieces, because en route to that, we had conceded a lot of set pieces in games. He said, no, don't blame him. Blame me. I am part of it. I am the coach. I am the one responsible for that. No need to lay blames on Carlos Fernandes. Today, we didn't concede a set piece. People try to raise it. He says, oh, give it to them. It's Carlos Fernandes, Jorgensen, and then Frello. They are the ones responsible for that. That is a man manager supreme. That is a man manager right there. Someone who understands that I would take all the defeats blame to myself, but when it comes to the glory, it's not just about me. It's about the whole team. He's the one. He says that if the players will perform like this, he would defend them consistently. And that is, see, we make a lot of noise about tactics and other things. You first need to get the human being present in the mind, in the body, in the spirit. Connect the spirit for them to be able to perform. If you don't do that, your tactics won't work. It's like all of us. Kwame is a medical doctor. You all go to medical school. Everybody passes. Everybody has a certificate. But there are things that distinguish people from people. And there are certain qualities that distinguish people from people. And that's one key thing. I'm not here waxing lyrical about Ruben Amorim. But if you look at the nature of the two games that we've played, we saw a team fighting for each other, working out for each other, covering each other, fist bumping, high fives. That is the foundation. If you don't get that foundation right, you can't build a team. And that's what we want to see. We complained consistently about this team, that they don't fight, they don't throw themselves over there. And you could see them. There was this ball. De Ligt really epitomized that. De Ligt, Maguire, body on the line. Lisandro Martinez, body on the line. Mazraoui, body on the line. Every single one of them. Ugarte. You know what Ugarte said? Ugarte says that when we have the ball, we work. But without the ball, we fight. We fight for every single thing to be able to do what we want to do. And that's exactly what we were doing in this game. It was amazing. I mean, I have to give them credit for absolutely putting up that absolutely great performance on the day. There's absolutely nothing you could say. If they have even gone ahead to lose the penalty, I would have no fault. Because see, exactly that passion, that energy, and I'll give Bruno Fernandes credit. He showed. I had a pop at him when he had that yellow card. I felt he should still manage his emotions better because anything at all could have happened. But he led the team.
Dalot got the second yellow card that he was supposed to get. So it's not like it's just reprieve. It could easily have been him.
Exactly. So you get the point. He led the team. And that's what we expect or we call from these guys. They should play their heart out. They should give off their best. And, you know, that's Manchester United. We need that foundation. If you're able to build this foundation, who knows what will happen this season? Who knows?
Yeah, you speak of the foundation. You're spot on. You're absolutely spot on. But then again, I always make this argument that to build on this foundation that you speak of, we still need the quality to be able to compete.
Absolutely.
We are in the middle of the transfer window, and it looks very much like we are not going to make any moves, which I find extremely disappointing.
Yeah.
Extremely disappointing, because I think we still need a boost, because we can still make something of this season. We just qualified from the cup. We are in the next round of the competition against Ruud van Nistelrooy, right? In a game that, let's be honest, we expect to win. I'm glad it's Ruud, because I think he puts us back on track to be able to achieve something this season. And he got rewarded even further by getting a Premier League job. It's not been an easy Premier League job, but it's a Premier League job regardless. I think his time at Manchester United over the past 6-8 months, he couldn't have, in England, not just Manchester United, he couldn't have dreamt it, because a lot of things have gone his way. And it's just fitting reward that he's going to meet us at Old Trafford. You get a fitting welcome. Ruben Amorim said at the end of the game that he's looking forward to it, and he's going to give him a very warm hug, because he's a class guy. Perfect guy. It will be a perfect day out, but then it also points to you that there is something to play for. There's still an FA Cup to defend. There's still Europe to make great inroads. We need that Champions League football. Exactly. We still need to finish in a decent position in the league. Probably a top half finish should do for now, because they've wasted most part of the Premier League season. So we need that boost, and that boost should come for the market. But fans are in despair, just as we sound like we're in despair as to why we're not making any moves. We are going to offer you an explainer in a very special edition right after this episode. It's probably going to come out a few hours or probably the next day, where it's just an explainer as to Manchester United's financial situation. What in heaven's name is PSR, FFP, and why is United struggling to sign players?
So keep an eye on it. On Tuesday, this is a special edition, an editorial from Kwame explaining the PSR and whatever situation that we find ourselves. So on Tuesday morning, we would bring you that special editorial on our transfer dealings and what are the issues. I won't be part. You only see Kwame on there. He is the man for the editorial. He will explain to you what this PSR FFP thing means and why we are finding it difficult to make decisions. Kwame, before we log out, we have a game against Southampton midweek. Quick one. We just have about a minute to go. Quick one. Quick.
United have always been up for the big games. We know that under Amorim now. The problem is these kind of games, the bats. But we've lost points to Ipswich, right? We've lost points to Wolves, who are the bottom. A
lot of them.
We shouldn't lose games to lose points against Southampton. Like that's inexcusable. We should get back on track in the league, start winning those games so that we place ourselves in a comfortable position. I make fun of the fact that it's a relegation 6-pointer and all that. I don't truly believe that Manchester United would ever be involved in the relegation scrap. But it's about time we put ourselves at least in the top half of the table so that we don't have to be looking over our shoulder all the time. And then concentrate on the other cup competitions which are of more significance.
All right. Thank you very much, Kwame. And thank you for being a part of the podcast with us. We really appreciate your time with us. Thank you very much. Remember to hit the subscribe button if you've not done that. Your comments are so dear to us. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And remember to share with your friends. We need more people in the community. Kwame.
We'll be adding quizzes to the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, tell them about it.
Yeah, so a quick one. We'll be having some new segments, a quiz competition where we'll just put out the question, then you answer in the comment section. When we come back in the next episode, we'll give you the answer to it. So get ready. It should get fun. So 2025, we have a lot in stock for you. So remember to be a part of the podcast. My name is Kwame. I was here with Kwame and your boy Siako. Thanks for being a part of the show with us. We'll see you on the next one. Have a great time. Bye-bye.